Bonjour tout le monde. Today we are going to learn the names of some places and invitations, des endroits et des invitations. In other words, how do you invite people to go certain places with you? And then how do you accept an invitation or turn down an invitation? Okay, des endroits et des invitations. Répétez, des endroits et des invitations. So first we're going to learn how to say some different places. So if you want to ask someone if they want to go to the house, and I put in the word at here because the word à can mean at or to, and actually it can also mean in, but we won't do that one today. We'll just say at or to. Let's say you want to invite someone to the house, or ask them if they want to go home. So you're going to say à la maison. So à la maison literally means to the house. À la maison. Okay, répétez. À la maison. À la maison. If you want to ask someone if they want to go to the party, or you want to talk about being at the party, you're going to say à la fête. That's one way to say it. And fête is related to our English words feast and festival. You just leave out the S in French, well, among other things. But remember, the accent circumflex over the E tells us that some letter has been left out, and in this case, it's the letter S. Okay, so à la fête. And French teenagers have this thing where they like to move letters around in a word and switch them so they're backwards, and they have their own like teenage lingo. So sometimes they'll, move the F and the T, and it will become tough. À la touffe. Okay, so à la fête or à la touffe. Répétez, à la fête. À la touffe. Okay, if you want to talk about being at or going to the cafe, it's the exact same word in French as it is in English, cafe. But you'll notice that the beginning is a little different. When we talk about maison or party, we say à la, which is the feminine way to say to the or at the or in the. But these last three down here are masculine, so we don't say à la, we just use one word, and that's au. Okay, it's spelled A-U, but it's pronounced O, like the letter O. Okay, so if you want to say at or to the cafe, you say au café. Répétez, au café. If you want to talk about being at or going to the movies, you will say au cinéma. So notice that's very similar to English cinema. It's got an accent aigu on the E. Au cinéma. Répétez. Au cinéma. And lastly, if you want to talk about being at the mall or shopping center or going to the mall or the shopping center, okay, they call it the centre commercial. And again, it is masculine, so we're going to use the word au instead of à la. Au centre commercial. Au centre commercial. Okay, répétez. Au centre commercial. Okay, we're going to go on and learn how to invite someone to one of these places. Okay, we're going to learn two ways. The first way is pretty simple. The second way is a little bit more complicated. So the first way is just two syllables. On va. On va. So literally, we go, or it's one of the ways to say we go. On va. But we would, in English, we would say, how about we go? Or how about going? Okay, how about we go? Very simple. Just on va. Répétez. On va. So you just put those two words, on va, in front of the expressions that we just learned. And now you can ask, you can invite people to all these places, invite people to go with you to these places. So if you want to say, how about we go to the house? How about we go home? You're going to say, on va à la maison. On va à la maison. Répétez, on va à la maison. If you want to say, how about we go to the party? Okay, remember there are two ways to say party, so you can say, on va à la fête. Or you can say, especially if you're a teenager, on va à la teuf. Okay, répétez, on va à la fête. On va à la teuf. Let's say you want to invite someone to the cafe. How about we go to the cafe? Very simple. On va au café. On va au café. Répétez. On va au café. You want to invite someone to the movies. How about we go to the movies? You would say, on va au cinéma. On va au cinéma. Répétez. On va au cinéma. And if you want to invite someone to go to the mall with you, to go to the shopping center, you will say, on va au centre commercial. On va au centre commercial. Okay, you try. Répétez. On va au centre commercial. Okay, and like I just told you, there is a different way. It's a little bit longer, and the meaning is just a little bit different. On va means, how about we go? Tu voudrais aller means, would you like to go? Okay, would you like to go? So we're starting with tu, which is you. Voudrais is would like, and aller means to go. So literally, you would like to go, okay, but we switch the word around. Would you like to go? Okay, on the second word, voudrais, which ends with an S, normally we wouldn't pronounce that S, but it is followed by a vowel, and so we're going to pronounce it like a Z. Okay, so tu voudrais aller. Tu voudrais aller. Okay, répétez. Tu voudrais aller. Tu voudrais aller. Okay, so we're just going to put that expression in front of each of the places to ask, would you like to go to the house or would you like to go home? Tu voudrais aller à la maison. Répétez. Tu voudrais aller à la maison. Would you like to go to the party? Tu voudrais aller à la fête? Or, tu voudrais aller à la teuf? Répétez. Tu voudrais aller à la fête? Tu voudrais aller à la teuf? Would you like to go to the cafe? Tu voudrais aller au café? Répétez. Tu voudrais aller au café? Would you like to go to the movies? Tu voudrais aller au cinéma? Répétez. Tu voudrais aller au cinéma? And lastly, would you like to go to the mall? Would you like to go to the shopping center? Tu voudrais aller au centre commercial? Répétez. Tu voudrais aller au centre commercial? Okay, those are ways to invite someone to go somewhere with you. Let's say someone has just invited you to go somewhere and you need to respond. Okay, so when we respond to an invitation, we either say yes, or sometimes we have to turn the invitation down and say no in some way. So these are some different things you can say, but we're actually starting out with the expression, are you coming? So let's say you just invited someone, or you're talking about going somewhere and you want to ask them, are you coming? You just say, tu viens? Okay, so we do not pronounce the S. Don't really pronounce the N either. Don't let your tongue touch the roof of your mouth. Tu viens? Tu viens? Répétez. Tu viens? Okay, if you want to say, okay, the French actually do sometimes say, okay, just like the English, but the French way to say okay is d'accord. D'accord. Now, if you're a Spanish speaker, that's related to the expression de acuerdo. Okay? D'accord. Répétez. D'accord. Okay, what if you want to say, yes, I'd like that, or I'd love to? In French, you're going to say, oui, je veux bien. Oui, je veux bien. So these two words actually rhyme. Je veux. Je veux. Okay, the other day we learned how to say yes, oui. You know how to say bien, well. So literally, yes, I want well. We don't say it that way in English. Oui, je veux bien. Répétez. Oui, je veux bien. If you want to tell the person, hey, that's a good idea. Good idea. Bunny day. Okay, you've seen the word bonne before in bonne journée, bonne nuit. It's just the feminine way of saying good. And of course, idée is idea. So, bonne idée. Bonne idée. Bonne idée. Répétez. Bonne idée. Maybe you want to say, why not? I've got nothing better to do. Why not? Okay, pourquoi pas? So pourquoi is why, and we've seen the word pas before. It means not. Pourquoi pas? Pourquoi pas? Répétez. Pourquoi pas? Sometimes we have to turn down an invitation. So you might say, that's not possible. Okay. Pas, again, we've seen pas before, not, and of course possible means possible, but in French it's pronounced possible. Pas, okay, remember don't pronounce the S in pas. Pas possible. Pas possible. Répétez. Pas possible. And our last expression is I can't or I cannot. Okay, so je ne peux pas. So those first three words rhyme. Je ne peux. Je ne peux. Pas is the not. Je ne peux pas. Je ne peux pas. Répétez. Je ne peux pas. Okay, so now you can invite someone to go with you to certain places, and you can accept or turn down an invitation. Okay? Au revoir.